Hello there, this is Vedat from Programmership. Today we are gonna start the Mastering Swift tutorial series, and this video will be the first chapter. So in this video, I want to talk about constant and variable in Swift. We as developers need to store some data on memory to use it in our code, right? To use those kinds of data, we need to know their memory address. Otherwise, we won't be able to access those data. Just because memorizing all memory address is not possible, constant and variable comes into play right at this moment. We can think about them as a box that we can give name and put some data in it. That box will be kept on the memory. And guess what? We can access those boxes by the name that we defined. Well, to define a variable, first write var keyword and give a name, let's say my name, and then define a value, let's say the dots. So we don't have to specify its data type. It's optional. Swift will do that for us. But we can also specify the data type. It's okay. Let's say string. So this is the most basic variable definition in Swift. What about constant? To define a constant, let's say let keyword. Let keyword means it is a constant, okay? And then let's give a name. Let's say speed limit is equal to 100. And this is the simple constant definition in Swift. So we can also define the variable or constant in different data type. So we can also give integer value or boolean value to constant or variable. So let's define another variable, which is integer. Let's say var my age is equal to 26. Let's define another variable, var is active. True. So this is a boolean type. We can specify its type or just delete it. The Swift will do that for us. So what is the difference between defining a constant or variable? Constant values are immutable. So that means we won't be able to change its value once it is defined. Let's try to change the speed limit value. Let's say speed limit is 120 and try to print it out. Let's run the speed limit and see the compiler gives an error. It says speed limit is a let. It is constant and it is immutable, so we won't be able to change its data once we defined it. The variable are mutable, so we can change its data later. It's alright. Let's try to change the my name variable. Let's say it is the .2 and print it out and see what is the value. Hit run, and here we can see the .2 is now the my name variable's new value. So what about performance between constant and variable? Constant has more performance than the variable because the Swift compiler knows how much space it must allocate for the constant. It is immutable, right? Just because variable is mutable, its data size can be changed, and that means compiler needs more calculation for variable. So that was a quick chapter about constant and variable in Swift. We are going to use them thousands of times in the future. See you in the next one. Goodbye.